Hi, Tam here. Here's some advice for crew members embarking on a cruise ship for the first time in their lives. Never leave home to go work on a cruise ship if you do not have a signed contract in your hand. Make sure you have a signed contract and make sure you've read your contract carefully. It's easy in the excitement to just assume that everything's fine with your contract. You're going to go on a cruise ship and you're going to work as a senior waiter or a dining room waiter, only to be bitterly disappointed when you get there. Right? So make sure you read your contract. Sometimes it can be a bit confusing reading through the corporate jargon and wording of a contractual agreement. So make sure you understand your contract from the first word to the last, and that you're clear on everything. Know the difference between an LOI, an LOE, and a contractual agreement. The cruise line you're going to work for might send you an LOE and LOI. LOE, letter of employment, and LOI, letter of intent, also called letter of invitation. Now that LOI is for visa purposes. When you're asking for a visa to go work as a crew member in Australia, in New Zealand, in Germany, in France, wherever the ship is, in the US, your cruise line will send you an LOI, letter of intent, letter of invitation, to facilitate your visa application. It's not a contractual agreement. It's just an engagement from your cruise line to say that yes, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so is currently employed by us, and you are taking responsibility for his expenses, accommodation, food, what have you. That's an LOI. It's a letter of intent, an invitational letter. An LOE, a letter of employment, it's something that's going to help you go through immigration when you arrive in the country where you're supposed to board your ship. So you're going to the UK, you're going to France, you're going to Germany, you're going to Australia, you're going to New Zealand, you're going to the US. You will have immigration at the airport, Custom and Border Patrol, CBP. They will verify your visa and they will ask you for your letter of employment. When your cruise line sends you an LOE and an LOI, if required, these are not contractual agreements. So you see, if you're working through an agency, and I know that if you're in the housekeeping department, you're in the restaurant department, the food operation department, the bar department, you most probably got the job through an agency in your home country. And that agency liaised with the cruise line and they got you the job. But in order for you, or rather in order for them to entice you to come, they would have made promises. At times, false promises. And that's why it's important to read the contractual agreement before you embark for your cruise ship adventure. I'll give you an example, right? You are a waiter, a senior waiter. You're working for one of the top restaurants in the world. Let's say Le Louis XV, right? So you're working as a senior waiter, it's just an example, at Le Louis XV restaurant at the Hôtel de Paris in Monte Carlo. It's one of the top restaurants in the world. You decide that you want something different, you want a new adventure, going through an agency. They promise you a job on a cruise ship for 6 months, traveling the world with a fantastic itinerary, and you will be working there as a senior waiter. You say, okay, that's exciting. You don't read your contract. You arrive there, first day on the job. You go through, the motions of the day. You get your uniform, and boom, they put you in one of the restaurants as an assistant waiter. Not a senior waiter, not a waiter in the dining room, in a beautiful dining room, an assistant waiter. So here you are in the crew mess with a mop, expected to mop the floor.
I'm willing to start at the bottom.
You're aiming too high.
Or they put you as a dishwasher. And you're now in the galley cleaning dishes. I mean, that's way below expectations, right? So you go complain and you say, listen, I was a senior waiter for 2 years at Le Louis XV restaurant in Monte Carlo. I was promised a position as a senior waiter in the dining room. And now I'm a dishwasher in the galley. What's going on? And they tell you, go and read your contract. And you actually read your contract. You see that nowhere did they say that the position was as a senior waiter. They only said that you're getting a job in the restaurant department. So here you are in the restaurant department, but at the back, cleaning dishes. And I've seen time and again many crew members bitterly disappointed because they were lied to by their agent.
Hey, what you guys doing? That's a lot of dishes to be washed.
Wash them yourself, right?
Cunyo,
I retire.
what the fuck you gonna do there now?
I gotta look after my investment.
Fuck you guys.
You're working at the JW Marriott in the guest service department at reception, welcoming the guests, interacting with the guests. They promised you that you're gonna go on board, working on a cruise ship as a guest service associate. And when you arrive on board, and it's a different story. You're now finding yourself in housekeeping, cleaning cabins. Not what was discussed, but again, your contract never specified what you're gonna be doing on board. So be careful, because your agent might lie to you just to get you on board by all means necessary and cash in on your commission, cash in on the commission your agent is getting from you having gone on a cruise ship. So just to recap, make sure you read your contract and you have a signed contract before you go join a cruise ship. If they don't give you a contract, don't go. Because there's a reason for that. Know the difference between an LOI, an LOE, and a contract. It's not the same. Verbally, your agent might have said, yes, you're going to go there, work in the guest service department, and you get a letter of employment, but that's not a contractual agreement. Know the difference. Read your contract. Scan your contract word by word. And and sign if you're happy with your position, your salary, the length of your contract. Some crew members are going thinking they're going to do a 4-month contract. They arrive on board and it's a 9-month contract. I hope this helps. Cheers. And remember, subscribe to my channel. Remember, subscribe to my channel. It's very important. Deck 4 forward. If you like this type of content, like this video, leave a comment. I'll answer you. And subscribe. Don't be a watcher in the dark, watching my videos but never subscribing. Do the right thing and subscribe. Cheers.